been honest, and it's most of the brothers and sisters. I already know that. But remember, an individual, it may be some not stupidity, but I know that a lot of things that was going on here, they may have a chair in this place and a chair in that place. And in those days, it'd be $650,000 for that university to have some representative. And then I see who's there, and those, whoever they are, would not have anything set aside for people that was really on their team. And the other thing is about control. I'm sorry, you just can't control people. Remember I was telling you about the Rahmah? I study what I'm talking about. In fact, I'm not arrogant. I know what I'm talking about. I know because I can see what I said, what's going on, and probably where it's going. I already know that. I'm 75 years old, and I've had years and years to study, so you know something about what you said, and you have to be real about it because you can't lie to yourself. At least if you do, hey man, you're going to start flipping up, slipping up, and going crazy. Okay. When everybody just knew that Iran was going to crack wide open, it was June 19th, the Rahbar gave Salat al-Jum'ah. And I said, hey man, this guy is a Rahbar now. He is the Rahbar. Now I know some of you Iranians are going to get, maybe I don't know how you're going to feel about this. But it's the same with Malcolm, King, and others. They had so much time to do certain things, right? And so many challenges to deal with. If all people start off equal, say like King start off equal, Malcolm start off equal, I start off equal with them. If I have 4 times as much experience as they do, I'm going to get sharper than they are. Just can't do nothing about it. That's the law. I'm going to get more experience than they did. I'm going to go more places, see more, hear more stuff. Plus, the environment accelerates. You can't take, what was the Negro's name way back? Booker T. Washington, and what's the name now? You can't use that. Nobody in the 60s used that stuff, right? But they motivated people. Okay? How can we use Martin Luther King and Malcolm X? Their policies right now. The movement is 50 years, in 53 years, 50, way out there. It's gone, it's moving. They are heroes. They fed us. We love them. But what about our job? What we found out was the Negroes that held on to Malcolm and King, if they held on to Malcolm, I've seen them all at the IEC going visit his grave. Them Negroes was using him as a crutch. They wasn't doing nothing. Malcolm, Malcolm, Malcolm. Why? You keep saying that. And you're not doing nothing like, you know what I mean? They use Malcolm as a crutch. The media, what they doing with King, they want me and you to go back and sit on the couch with Martin Luther King. Right now, right? You can see it. There's nothing up and around here. They want to keep us back there. Like that was the epitome of struggle. It's not the epitome of struggle. What about now? keeping people quiet and sleep. They celebrate what happened then, and they bring everybody out. But anyway, back to June 19th, when the Rahbar came out and gave that khutbah. First of all, it was very strategic. So yeah, he's a Rahbar. In other words, he didn't call Imam Khomeini. Why? Because he got more time in. Imam Khomeini's time, what he had to do was allow Rafsanjani and everybody to get the experience of working together with each other. That's why he didn't get too much involved. Because he wanted them to learn and not depend on them. Ayatollah Khamenei have had to administer all of these 30 years administration in each and every kind of president, environment, and all that. So he didn't pass Imam Khomeini. That's just, I know it's sacrilegious to say that. I'm just telling you my opinion. Because now, I hope I'm not talking to stupid Iranians. What are stupid Iranians? Stupid Iranians is the one that's anti-Velayat Faqih. Anti-Velayat Faqih. Or parochial, small-time Iranians. You got your little dumb crew. I've experienced it. I experienced them at the Daftar and everything. Y'all remember, especially you guys in California, this is Hossein Nadwi. Remember UC Berkeley? He was there at the same time Brother Mujtaba went home. He took over. Brother Javad went home. Right? They was all in UC Berkeley. At the Daftar, they told me, Hossein Nadwi, he's with Ahmadinejad. So what? That's what they said. But over there, Daftar. Hossein Nadwi, our friend, our brother. Y'all was there with him. Right? Y'all was there with him. I said, what does that have to do with anything? Well, if he is with Ahmadinejad, he's got kind of, you should have Hossein Nadwi, Ahmadinejad, and all of them, you're on the same team. You think boss man over here is going to look around and see which Iranian is which? If he sent a bomb over there, it's to blow up all Iranians. He don't care about your team. And if you're dumb enough to be in one of these anti-Velayat Faqih crews over here, if you're anti-Velayat Faqih, you done missed the boat. You done missed the boat. I'm not mad at you, because everything that we deal with is coming from, I know I didn't used to talk like this, but I'm telling you now. I love Iran, I love Iranians, and I love y'all. Love you. Whatever you're doing, I already know that there's something. It's not what the U.S. government would want me to think. Oh, boss man coming here last year? We don't think you should do this, that, and other because you're going to get in trouble. He gave me the names of the people that was sanctioned. I said, them is your people, man. What are you talking about? Young people. I said, the only thing they is the Iranians. Well, if they want to help you with the Bunyad up in New York, they can help you. So he's trying to tell me the people here, they don't, look, I'll be very short about this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this CD, DVD, and I might go out D.C. Maybe. But where I'm going to go is the Saba Center in San Jose. I'm going to go out there. First week, I'm going to just go out there and I'm going to give all y'all the CD, DVD, whatever it is. And then next week, I'm going to come back with boxes. Now, all of y'all, you know who we are. We were in the Masjid together. Don't you remember that feeling of warmth, brotherhood, and friendship? Don't you remember our Masjid was a center when they came from New Mexico, Texas, far to Quds demonstrations, Colorado, everything that happened on the West Coast, everything. They came from all over that part of the country. On this side of the Mississippi, they came here to D.C., but on the other side, they came to us, the headquarters for all the demonstrations, Quds demonstrations, and all of that was at our Masjid. Everything was from there. You have to remember the camaraderie, the brotherhood, and the friendship that was developed. You can't buy that. Okay. The other thing is that you definitely outperformed all expectations. No doubt about it. In economy, in military, in technology, Iran is right up there with the big ones. I'm talking about in technology and messing with people's, the little spy stuff and all that, the internet stuff. Shutting down this and shutting, they can do that. They're up there. They're up there. And you're doing what you were supposed to. Why? Because the sharpest students that was in America was Iranian students. Remember you guys? Yeah. Sharp as a tack. And intellectually, you were sharper at that time than you are now. What I mean is, inside of Iran, the administration is really growing by leaps and bounds. Everybody getting sharp right because they're getting attacked. But being attacked is healthy for you. Do you know that I said stuff that would make the U.S. attack Iran more? Why would somebody do that? Because evolving with the curve, behind the curve, you know what I mean? Iran has kept up. Why? Because the heat has stayed on them, and we made sure. Strategic alliance, Iran gonna do this, Iran gonna do that, and they can't sleep at night. So they put more heat on you. Why? So you can survive right now. You're doing what you're doing right now because you didn't have that heat on you. If you didn't have enough heat on you, you wouldn't have evolved with the curve. We learned that from watching Equan. They evolved, but they was just walking along. The movement is going 100 miles an hour and they're doing 40. Right? It's not true with you. Missile technology, what's it going to look like in 5 years from now? You're on the road. Drone technology, you're already number 4 in the world, right? Who produce their own cars in that part of the world? Saudi Arabia? No, they buy theirs from over here. Right? In medicine, in medics, all that stuff. You out in front of everybody. That's why you're surviving. Because you're moving along with the trend, or even picking up and getting out in front of it. So the people here, our friends, this is like a goodbye, see you later type thing. Yes, goodbye. Because something is not right at this time. It's not bad or good. But I know that if you're doing what you're doing, that is for a certain reason. And that reason takes precedence over our own personal relationship. I'm setting aside the not too bright Iranians that believe in cliquism. If I were to have any advice to give you, same advice I gave you in San Francisco 2 years ago. Number one, stick to the highest level of ethics and morality. Because people are joining you now and they have to trust you. You have to not take advantage of anybody. They have to know that you're going to look out for them, their family, and everything. They're going to have to know that. Therefore, you can't get slick. If there's someone that will ruin history, it's the Negro. He gets slick. The Arab gets slick. Do you know the human being gets slick? I don't know if you understand what slick means. He gets slick. You have to find out what I mean by slick. Just slick. He gets slick. He's going to fool everybody, and he's going to weasel around. You can't do that. Whatever you say, that's what you have to be. They have to know it, the world have to know it, and you have to know it, because that's what you have to do. I'm making this because I want y'all to develop an Imam Musa support committee. Because we're going after Boss Man, and I'm going to just read you a few things what we intend to do right now, so you know. You don't have to drive by here, you don't have to come by, you don't have to say hello, but you have to hook up. Here's what we're going to do. Our goal number one is what we already are. We're representative of the oppressed. That's what we are. Targetism. The target, us. We are the target in America. Now remember, we're inside of America. I don't want you to forget that. Your family, the one brothers went home, are at home outside of America. Brother Faoud said that on TV one time, he said, you got to remember, Imam Musa is inside of America. He left a few years ago. He's a big child over there. You know what it means? I'm inside of America. Remember, why do every FBI agent come to me, the first thing they mention is something about Iran? Why do they do that? It's not because they're stupid. They are stupid in a way, but they don't want us to have no contact. And they want us to be with them. Not possible. I'm sorry. Again, what do you think Boss Man think when they see that? What do you think America thinks when they see that? What do you think? It's your homeboy. Y'all may, I know the American Iranians here in America don't like President Ahmadinejad that much. That's a mistake. You can't, crewism, teamism is a luxury. You can't afford it. You can't afford one team or another. There's people you can work with. I don't care. When you have an election, whoever gets elected, right? You don't go out, you got 60%, we're 40%, we're going to be the opposition. You got to help that man do what he's trying to do. Or, at the most, be neutral. Just say, I ain't going to do nothing. I ain't going to hurt him. I ain't going to help him. Why? Because you become like Democrats and Republicans. You've got to move fast and big. You can't afford. You cannot afford to let groupism, I call it any imbecilism, to slow you down. Now this is what the boss man think about your dear Imam. 2 years ago in Arizona, picture. I didn't get a response. Okay. I didn't get a response. That means somebody told y'all back off. And all of you did it. Let me repeat. All of you did it. For the last 15 years, something has been going on. I told y'all what to do about Alama Zakzaki, right? Just send some light curly-headed people over to Africa over there and have them do a few little things, and then send me over there, and I'll tell them what you're doing. Don't you tell them nothing, you just go over. Isn't that what I told the people? You haven't done it. Okay? I told them if you want the whole African continent to become Shias, just like that, you do a few of these things, and they will. But you're slow. You gotta remember, I don't care absolutely nothing about Sunniism or Shiism at all. Just allow. Any of you jump in, we with you. So, if you could, from where he's coming from, if he can affect the whole African continent, he has Fudiyas, and Fudiyas, Ibn Fudi. Fudiyas, he teaches what the Sheikh of those days taught with modern stuff. It's my poor son, poor guy. Remember him? He used to travel around with me all the time. He was 17 and stuff like that. Poor guy. He was laying there with bullet holes. Do you know they had no investigation? No yellow tape, no nothing. Right? This is America. And of course, remember, Walayati Faqih is a protection against global fitna. It is. Now, when I was in court, the little, we call it Iranian Dolly Parton, and you know she's a little lawyer, public defender out there in Alameda County. Y'all probably know her. Dolly Parton. She took pictures of